Is strength worthless in 2K26? That's been a discussion since launch. Honestly, I have to answer that question once and for all so we can leave that in the past year of 2025. Now, in the background are going to be clips of my lockdown defender belt that maxes out 85 strength for gold immovable enforcer. The jersey number I'm wearing in the clips is my current strength rating in that clip. The clips are going in chronological order, so its strength is worthless. The 59 and 85 clip should look identical. Its strength is worth full. As we upgrade the strength from 59 to 85, the clip should progressively be different, and the difference should be noticeable. This is how we did the testing. To isolate the strength factors, I primarily kept everything the same except for strength, which I routinely upgraded after a couple hours of playing at each level. I maxed out all other ratings on my build, kept my pick dodger at Hall of Fame until I was done with the testing, then tested out Legend pick dodger, kept my max plus 1 and max plus 2 badges the same, except for when I tested out different levels of Immovable Enforcer, kept the Alex Caruso motion style the same, kept my dump packages the same. However, I did switch between the largest and thinnest body types to see if that made a difference. Also switched my takeovers between Speedster, Powerhouse, and Custom Takeover. If I had to estimate, Speedster would use 75% of the time, Powerhouse would use 20% of the time, and Custom Takeover would use 5% of the time. Originally, I left my strength rating at what it started out at, which is 59. After a couple hours of playing, I raised the strength rating to 70. That's a plus 11 increase, and right before I unlocked Immovable Enforcer, I want to see if I notice a difference in the increase of strength without badges. After a couple hours of playing at 70, I upgraded my strength to 71 to unlock Bronze Immovable Enforcer. I put a couple hours on Bronze Immovable, and I wanted to upgrade to Silver and Gold, but I couldn't max plus 1 or max plus 2 it until I maxed out my strength rating, which is super disappointing. However, I was able to put Immovable Enforcer into the Hot Start Season Pass, and I was able to test it out as Silver only for the first quarter of a rec game or for the first 10 points of a park game. After an hour of that, I raised my strength to 82, which was another plus 11 increase to my new strength rating. It also unlocked me Silver and Immovable Enforcer. I tested that rating out for a couple hours, and during that testing, I encountered a big man with 99 strength. I will show every screen that connected from that game in these clips. After a couple hours of that, I put Immovable Enforcer into the Hot Start category and tested out Gold Immovable at 82 strength rating. Finally, I upgraded my player to 85 strength and a 99 overall. I played 2 hours with Gold Immovable, 2 hours with Hall of Fame Immovable, 2 hours with Legend Immovable. After all that, I upgraded my pick dodger to Legend to see if there is a difference in navigating screens between Hall of Fame and Legend levels. Now that you know how the testing was conducted, it is time to share the results. But first, a message from my sponsor, absolutely nobody. I did all this testing by myself and I did it for y'all. I do not get paid for any of this, so it would be greatly appreciated if you like the video, share the video, and subscribe or follow. This took dozens of hours to make, and hopefully, if this video does well, I will do tests in the future. If it doesn't, well, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Now it's time for the results, and the results were hilarious because after I finished the testing, I completely understood both sides of the argument. When my strength was low, I kept thinking, man, I wish my player was faster and quicker. I could have made that play. This feeling was most common while trying to chase a PG with 91 speed with ball and Legend Lightning Launch, and he's hiding behind screens and stuff like that. There wasn't many times I thought to myself, man, if I was stronger, I could have made that play. I actually felt like this for most of the testing. It wasn't until I got to 85 strength rating that I actually noticed a drastic difference. 85 strength, the bumps I made on my opponents are noticeably better than at lower ratings. To describe the difference, at 85 strength, I was playing 90s basketball. I was hand checking my opponent to completely stop the ball handler in his track, derailing all his momentum when he tried to drive to the paint. Now, it's not like the glue takeover where it forces the ball handler to pick up his dribble, but the bumps are definitely better at 85 strength than they were at 59. Now, I want something to be clear. Those bumps were better, but they are still tough to capitalize off of. For instance, I hope that when I got my strength higher, I'd be able to bump someone, slow down their dribble, then steal the ball with my 96 steal rating and Legend glove. Unfortunately, there wasn't a difference in my bump to steal ratio. However, against less experienced dribbler, the more physical bumps led to more panic passes from the point guard, and result it led to my teammates getting more steals that way, especially when these bumps were on the sideline or in the backcourt of a 5v5, so they had to pass the ball up court to avoid the out of bounds or an 8-second violation. Also forced more bumps out of bounds with higher strength, although you can still bump people out of bounds with lower strength. For comparison, I have an Anthony Edwards build that has 96 perimeter and 50 strength. I max plus 1 my on-ball menace on to get that to Legend. My lockdown defender has 99 perimeter and 85 strength. Ant-Man is faster and more agile, so he's able to slide his feet quicker. In result, he generates more bumps. Meanwhile, my lockdown build is a tad slower, but much stronger. In result, he generates stronger and better bumps. Once my lockdown was making contact, it was tough to shake them off of you. Now, let's answer the question that we originally stated in the beginning. Is strength worthless in 2K26? And no, it is not. If I could go from 25 strength to 99 strength for free and didn't even get any badges, just got the attributes, I would do it every day of the week. Example is a worthless category would be like free throw in the park or offensive rebound or defensive rebound in the 1v1 court where they're absolute F tier because you don't even use them whatsoever. The problem with strength is that you do have to invest a lot in it for it to be worthwhile, which when you think about it, that's kind of the norm for most of the attributes on this game. The more you invest in the rating, the better it is. On the other hand, if you didn't invest in it, you probably chose not to do so, and you probably don't value it. For instance, none of my builds have high layup or high close shot. I don't value either of those attributes, but I wouldn't call them worthless. If I could get them maxed out at 99 for free, I definitely would. They're just other things I would rather upgrade and more catered to my playstyle. This leads us to our follow-up question. If strength is not worthless, how much is it worth? After doing some math and looking at builds, I would say 6 points of strength is worth 1 speed or 1 agility. For instance, if I had 2 cap breakers, I had the choice to get my speed or agility up by a total of 2, or get my strength up by 12. That'd be a decision that I take some time to consider, right? If the strength got me from 70 to 82, that'd be good enough for silver immovable. I can see the argument be made for either side, right? Again, the plus 12 strength or the plus 2 speed or agility. If the 2 cap breakers got me from 82 strength to 94, which would get me from silver immovable to legend immovable, and just make my player stronger, I could also see the same thing, right? If I had to sacrifice 2 speed or 2 agility, on which side you would go with. I take some time to consider both of those options. On the contrary, though, if I had to sacrifice 2 speed or 2 agility, right, for plus 12 strength, and that only got me from like a 40 rating to a 52, I think that'd be a waste because you're not really going to notice that big of a difference, that low of a strength rating regardless, so it might well just make your player faster. So just to be clear, this is for lockdown defenders. At bigs, it'd be a different ratio or a different calculation needed because strength is more valuable than a 6 to 1 ratio. If I had to take a guess, it's probably closer to 1 to 1 in that aspect. So there's that about the strength for the big. But using this calculation, I was able to determine that Speedster Takeover is better than the Powerhouse Takeover for lockdowns because the difference between those takeovers is a total of 4 speed and agility for an increase of 6 strength. And that's not worth it. And it's also why I showed the Grinch build on my TikTok. I haven't showed it on YouTube. I might drop that video tomorrow on YouTube. But the Grinch lockdown, there's 2 versions, right? The Evil Twin and the one I made. The one I made gets 85 strength, but to get 85 strength, I had to sacrifice 1 speed and 5 agility, right? That's a total of 6 to go up 14 strength. That's not worth it. The Evil Twin that gets 91 speed, 91 agility, that one's way better because I only lost 14 strength, right? So I got plus 6 on speed and agility for a minus of 14 strength. That ratio is just so favorable to the Evil Twin. It's faster. It still gets a Immovable Enforcer at 71 strength. It gets a lot of good things going on. So I will share that with you guys, and I will be making a better lockdown video. I still think the Evil Twin is a fire build, but I'm going to give you guys a different one, right? I'm going to give you guys one that's a little bit faster than even the Evil Twin, right? You're going to go with a small guard lockdown. I think that is a viable option this year if you want to go that route. But that's enough about that. I want to answer some of your guys' questions that you guys still may have that may not be answered here. Now, if 85 is the sweet spot, which I think it is, what about 71 strength, and what level of Immovable Enforcer do you recommend? Immovable is a badge that didn't activate nearly as much as I wish it did. I originally thought it only activated in the paint or inside the three-point line, but you can get it to activate on the perimeter as well, or even the backcourt. Although I did get the badge to activate the more further into the testing. Unfortunately, I was not able to test it on gold at the 71 strength level. Therefore, I can't tell you the badge activates more when you have the badge at a higher level or when you get your strength to a higher level. Now, like I said, the more you invest into strength, the more you invest into the badge, it does activate more, but I'm not sure which one's the actual culprit there. The badge is good to have, though, but it's not needed. The best thing about the badge, in my opinion, that it's a tier 2 badge, so it's very easy to max plus 1 or max plus 2 if you want to. I think it's a C tier badge, maybe C plus or so, but it's nothing too game changing. Does strength help in dodging screens and minimizing their effectiveness? Interesting question here. I would say no. I encountered Legend Brick Walls shortly after I raised my strength to 82, and strength can't save you from the 99 big body Miyagis. Only Jesus can. In 3v3, I would recommend you switch on screens when you're facing a 99 strength player. What I did notice is that Pick Dodger going from Hall of Fame to Legend made a more noticeable difference in the strength rating. What made this interesting, though, is I know that strength matters in terms of setting the screens. So I was surprised to not notice a difference on the defensive side. I actually think 2K Toots and 2K Lab would be better served to test this than me because there are too many variables when you test this online. For instance, the big man strength rating isn't one of his top 6 attributes. I can't see it on his player card, therefore I don't know what his strength rating is. I also don't know he max +1 to his brick wall, max +2 to his brick wall. If he didn't even max +1 or max +2 it, there's so many factors there that change so much of the testing. I myself would like to know how much more often does the lockdown win the encounter if their strength and pick dodger level are both higher than the big man's strength and brick wall level. For example, my lockdown with 85 strength and legend pick dodger versus 83 strength and Hall of Fame brick wall. My lockdown should win that more times than not because he just has more strength and a higher pick dodger level. In regard to fighting through screens, I would say it's better to have pick dodger on legend and be faster and quicker so you can recover faster and get back on your matchup than it is to be stronger. Does strength help on boxing out or rebounding? I can say with certainty, no, it does not. That is all the box out beast badge. In the clips you see me get wormed out of the way, I don't have box out beast. However, my power forward teammate has 27 strength with legend box out beast and he never got wormed once. Does my body type matter in getting more bumps? No, I think that's all personal preference or maybe even the placebo effect at work. I prefer my body type to be the largest on my lockdown because I look more intimidating. And I did kind of feel like I got more bumps, but then when I was switched over to the thinner body type, I still get bumps on this body type as well. Does strength increase your contact dunks? I can say with certainty, no. It does not impact your contact dunks. In one of these clips, the guy with 99 strength and 85 interior got posterized by my teammate with 67 strength. I'm doing contact dunks with the same efficiency at 59 strength and 85 strength. Think about real life, for example. Ja Morant's a very slim guy. He should have Hall of Fame posterizer and low strength. He should be able to posterize people on the game like how he does in real life. An in-game example would be my Season 1 point guard build. It got 93 drive dunk and was dunk all over people the same when the game first came out. It only had 40 strength. In fact, my next video would be me recreating my Season 1 point guard build. And it will be the start of my Straight A student series where my next 4 to 5 videos or build videos will have at least 6 categories with 90 plus. So when you load into the game, there's nothing but 90s on your 2K player card. So be sure to subscribe and follow because you definitely want to see those builds. In conclusion, strength is not worthless. For it to be worthless, 25 and 99 will have to be the exact same, and that's not the case. 85 seemed like the sweet spot, but also did not test his rating higher than 85. Immovable Enforcer is not a terrible badge, but it's not needed. Strength does not help get more contact dunks. Body types do not get more bumps and are cosmetic only. For lockdowns, 1 speed or agility is worth about 6 strength. The Speedster takeover is better than the Powerhouse takeover. And when it comes to navigating screens, I couldn't really tell if strength made a difference in that category or not, but I do know you're going against 99 strength screens in 3v3. It's best just to switch and not try to fight through those. Now, that will conclude this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got any further questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, God bless.